Columbia, Houston. Good morning to the blue team. That was Texan 60 for Dave.
Good morning, Stephanie. Hey, it's a beautiful morning looking out the window right as we fly over Panama. Thanks for the wake-up music. And the blue shifter's looking forward to getting up and getting going and getting to work.
This is Mission Control Houston now with a live view inside the Space Hab Research Double Module. It's the laboratory for the STS-107 Space Shuttle mission. You can see Payload Commander Mike Anderson working inside the lab, and also Mission Specialist David Brown is adjusting the camera for our view. Anderson is working through a procedure to gain access inside the combustion module that is housing the laminar soot process experiment. Brown will be conducting another run of that laminar soot process experiment later, and Anderson is working on preparing the module for that experiment. The combustion module 2 provides experiment control, containment, diagnostics, and communications for on-orbit fire-related experiments. Currently, the hardware for the laminar soot process experiment is placed inside the module. Later during the flight, 2 other experiments will be put inside the combustion module for runs with those experiments. Now looking at a live video of the column of soil for the MGM experiment, the mechanics of granular materials. This is an experiment working to improve and enhance science and technology in a variety of disciplines, including earthquake engineering and soil mechanics. The results from this experiment may lead to answers concerning the consequences of earthquakes, such as damage to soils and foundations caused by the liquefaction of the soil, as well as improved designs for buildings in earthquake-prone regions.
Prime Minister.
Ilan, shalom lecha.
Ilan, shalom to you.
Shalom lecha, Adonai Rosh HaMashiach.
Shalom to you, Mr. Prime Minister. 5 days ago,
ערב המראתך,
just the evening before,
היינו מאוד נרגשים, שרת החינוך ואני, שהייתה לנו הזכות לדבר איתך. עכשיו, כשאנחנו רואים אותך שם, אנחנו נרגשים עוד יותר.
אני חושב שאני נרגש לא פחות מכם, בוודאי, לשוחח איתך, אדוני ראש הממשלה, ועם שרת החינוך, אבל במיוחד לשוחח אתכם מכאן, מהחלל.
הייתי לדעת, מה אתה רואה שם,
what can you see from there that we can't see from here?
אני אספר לך,
I will tell you
מה שרואים מכאן,
that what we can see from here is amazing. Our Earth, the planet, is beautiful. It really is beautiful. But what is more interesting is that the atmosphere is extremely brittle, and that which enables us to breathe and live is very brittle, very thin layer, and it's slightly bluish color during the day, and during the night, when you can see a kind of reflection from that atmosphere, and we just have to safeguard it with all our hearts. I sincerely hope that the experiment that you're carrying out will most specifically contribute to this target of maintaining it. You managed to see sandstorms, but here, at the moment, rain is falling upon us. True, blessed rain, and I hope that those experiments that you're performing with your crew members will contribute to safeguarding Earth. Unfortunately, I couldn't hear the first part of what you said, but our mission here is a scientific mission. We have got tens of experiments to perform. We're working round the clock, more than 16 hours a day, every day. We sleep a little bit as well. We've got hardly any time at all to look out of the window and enjoy it. And this the short period of time that we do have is plenty, and the other members of the team that are with me and those that I have trained with and lived with them for 2.5 years, they are incredible, a wonderful team of people. And we feel as if we're at home. And that is not only assisted by those that are with us, but much more so by the team that is an incredible team, an extraordinary team of the supervisors and our trainers and all those who are watching us from the ground. Ilan, if you could possibly tell the commander, Rick husband, and that wondrous team with you, our congratulations and our blessings from Jerusalem, the capital of the Jewish people for 3,000 years and for eternity. I will most certainly pass that message on, and they would definitely also like to come to Jerusalem, and we are planning to visit Israel after the flight, because everyone loves Israel, and they love us, and we love them. I would like to thank you from here, from Jerusalem, to the President of the United States of America, President Bush, and the previous President of the United States, President Clinton, who then had decided to send one of our space astronauts to space, to NASA. I would like to thank NASA as well, and to all those who have exerted efforts to bring us to this achievement, and I hope it is just but one amongst all our flights into space. If you would permit me, I would like to second every word that you spoke, and all those greetings and congratulations, but more than anything, I would like to, as a token of thanks, to thank Ilan Ben Eliyahu, the previous commander of the Air Force, because without him, I don't think that we could have reached what we have, and Mr. Avi Har-Even, and the Israel Space Agency in Israel, and Professor Yuval Ne'eman, who founded it, and the Ministry of Science, who has been supporting us along the path. And an additional, maybe, word of thanks to our scientists who are working in Washington, just beside it, with us, coinciding. And they're doing some very successful work, and everyone here is involved in that experiment, and I would truly like to congratulate that team of scientists. Thank you very much, and my best wishes for your success. Ilan, this is Limor Livnat. I'm delighted to speak to you in space, and this is being transmitted to all the different channels in Israel, and everyone can see you. And I would like to congratulate you. It's an immense excitement, and I would like to ask you, and it was sort of publicized in Israel, that you took with you to space on your journey certain objects that have Jewish historical symbolism. Could you tell me what you took? Thank you. Hello, good afternoon to the Minister of Education, and I'm delighted to speak to you and to all the audience. Yes, I did take certain things with me that are extremely significant from the point of view of the heritage of the people. But before I actually show those objects, I would like to say that from here, from space, Eretz Israel looks just as it does on the map, small but charming. And I think that Am Israel, the people of Israel, is a wondrous people, and I believe that we have truly extraordinary people in Israel, each and every one of them, and I think that it is very important to cherish our historic and religious heritage. And now I would just like to say a few words, and I would like to present one object that I received special permission. We're not normally allowed to show these objects, but I think that it is a very moving object, and I am even touched and moved when I hold it in my hand. It is a Torah book, tiny little one, as you can see, that about 60 years ago, a young child in the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, he saved it from the rabbi in Amsterdam after he'd been teaching him, preparing him for his bar mitzvah. And this 13-year-old child read out the parasha of the week, the portion of the week from that scroll that, as you can see, was tied up in a little handkerchief, and it was in his handkerchief from that time onwards. He was survived with so much luck, and he managed to immigrate to Israel, and he fought in the different campaigns and wars of Israel, and has now become a distinguished professor at Tel Aviv University. That is Professor Yoya. But today he's one of the chief Maydex scientists, the experiment that we are carrying out here, the Maydex experiment. So you can see that this is a bond that ties the state of Israel to what is happening here in space. And I would like to thank him deeply, because I'm extremely moved that I have it with me here in space, because I think that that represents more than anything the Am Yisrael, the nation of Israel's ability to survive despite everything, from horrific periods of time, from dark and dismal days to days of hope and a glitter of a future. I would like to thank you very deeply, and the fact that there in space you're holding on to that scroll that survived the Holocaust, and this intermingling with the heritage and Professor Joachim and what it symbolizes with cutting-edge technology, I think it's the perfect blend, and that's what we need in Israel, the heritage, history, and I think that you're doing it in a remarkable fashion. And there's a whole group of children here, pupils, and I would just like to tell you just one more thing. And to the commander of your mission, Rick Husband, and the entire team, I would like...
I understand you would love to come and visit Israel. And this is an invitation to the team to come and visit Israel, not only from the space, so you'll have an opportunity to see Israel not only from the space. I'm very proud, we are very proud that Ilan and Ramon is with you. And I'm personally very proud that two women are part of the team. And this is another issue that I'm very much, I really feel I'm very happy. So you are invited, all the team, not only the four of you, but all the team invited to Israel, to Jerusalem.
Well, we certainly do appreciate that invitation, and that's something that we've been talking about for a long time during our training and looking forward to, and we will certainly be looking forward to that after our flight, and looking forward to a visit to Jerusalem and also to see you and all the other fine folks there.
And Houston, we're back tracking some good storms again.
Copy, Willy. Thanks.
This is Mission Control Houston, pilot Willy McCool operating the MEDEX experiment, or the Mediterranean Israeli Dust Experiment, with one of its secondary observations being to look for the sprites, or the lightning phenomena that are associated with the thunderclouds and the lower ionosphere, or uppermost atmosphere of the Earth, the lower ionosphere.
Tim, the MEDEX folks ought to be real happy with this, and we're very interested from Columbia to see what we get from the lightning. This is definitely the most intense that we've seen since we've been on orbit.
That sounds really cool, Willy. Do you happen to take any pictures with the camera?
Now we're too busy keeping the truss pointed at the storm.
Copy. Thanks.
Here we're seeing live downlink of this experiment run on the bioreactor. The bioreactor, as you perhaps can see on this live downlink on NASA television,
LSP test is complete, first, step 71.
Copy, Ilan. Thank you very much.
Bioreactor is shown as it rotates. It contains a growth medium for cell cultures, and in microgravity and by rotating it allows these cell cultures to grow in 3 dimensions, much like they grow in the human body, as opposed to the 2-dimensional cell cultures that we see on the Earth's surface when they're grown in dishes.
Columbia Space Hab POC. For Laurel, no need to respond, but BDS-05 just wanted to let you know that they are capturing this video and they think things look very good.
Okay, great, and I'll push record up here as well.
Copy.
Positive words from the scientists on the ground focusing on the BDS-05, the bioreactor demonstration system. These cells that you can see, the white clumps in the growth medium inside the rotating bioreactor, are related to a study of prostate cancer. They're prostate cancer cells and bone cells, and the object of this particular experiment on the bioreactor is to try to determine or to better understand how prostate cancer spreads into bones, and perhaps with that understanding produce better treatment methods in the future.
We're continuing to watch this live video of the European Space Agency's facility for absorption and surface tension. And this is studying the response of surface tension to changes in the surface area of bubbles or droplets.
Houston, here comes the internet questions. The first question comes from Matthew Coleman from Bournemouth, Dorset in the United Kingdom. He's age 32. His question reads, I saw you take off live. What G-forces do you endure, and how long are you subjected to them? Matthew, the G's initially are not so much, it's not the main thing that we sense. Primarily during first stage, it's the vibrations. The G's do, though, eventually build up to about 2.5. At the 2-minute point, they start to tail off as the solid rocket boosters run out of propellant. And so we feel a deceleration from 2.5 down to 1 G's, which we perceive actually is coming to a stop. So it's kind of an eerie feeling. Shortly after the solid rocket boosters separate, we begin to re-accelerate, and the G's gradually build up. They get up to a peak of 3 G's after 7.5 minutes, and then we'll sustain the 3 G's until the main engine's cut off at 8.5 minutes. The sensation of the G's is through the chest because we're laying on our back rather than from head to toe. So it's kind of like a bear standing on your chest, and for that last minute it's rather fatiguing and difficult to, for example, to twist your head left and right or to reach for a checklist or a switch. And the final G sensation that we feel is the most sensational. It's going from the 3 G's instantaneously to the 0 G floating sensation when the main engine's cut off. Houston, the second question comes from Robert Smathers from Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's age 31. His question reads, with 2 different shifts being utilized this mission, is it difficult to sleep when the crew members on the other shift are moving around and talking as they do their work? Thus far, I would say that really hasn't been a problem. We've been on orbit for 4+ days. We've had 5 sleep periods for our shift. We sleep in bunks, enclosed bunks, stacked 4 high up against the starboard wall of the middeck, and they're isolated, and they have sliding doors on the side that you can climb into, and you build yourself a 0 G sleeping cocoon. I think the issue for sleep is more of adjusting to the 0 G floating in your bed sensation rather than the 1 G laying in a bed sensation. So for me personally, I found it a little bit unsettling and difficult to sleep the first day or two, primarily because I was floating. And in a small, dark cocoon, you tend to get vertigo as you're floating, and it's not necessarily a comfortable feeling. last night and the night before were the first nights of the mission, where I actually slept thoroughly and quite well. So it's taken about 2 or 3 days for my body to adapt and to be able to sleep on orbit. And Houston, we'll call that a wrap for now.
Copy that, Willie. Great job. You're my hero.